Hey guys, James here. I'm late on this, but I have an excuse. I was house sitting for my sister for the last 10 days when James Bond vs. John Wick came out. So I didn't really have my regular setup ready to record, but I am here now. I'm a couple days late. Black Adam's preview has already dropped, and the track has already been leaked, but that happened even before Bond vs. Wick came out. But we are here for Black Adam versus Apocalypse. DC versus Marvel. I don't care. I think out of like all the T's combatants, this is the one I might have had the most interest in of all T's matchups, I should say, for the second half of the season. Not because, like, I'm really interested in this. It's just that I think I have... And, like, I don't really have any interest to learn about Trunks and Vegeta in this season, or it kind of makes me bummed that we're getting Trunks this season specifically. And then Sauron, I don't care. I have no interest in him. And Bond vs. Wick, I just was more excited for Death Battle to be back. But Black Adam, I had some interest in learning about, mainly thanks to the DBX and the Black Adam movie coming out. And so that's about all the excitement I can say for this, but I am happy for those who've been wanting this matchup. I know this has been a long time request, and hell, even was a community death battle back in 2020 and became a DBX last year in 2021. So it kind of came full circle. It went DBX, Death Battle Cast, DBX, to a full-fledged official death battle. And I know there are some people who are like, oh, another Marvel versus DC, blah. And that's understandable. We've had a lot of Marvel and DC, but at least this is a case where it's unique. Like, yeah, we've had Shazam, but we really haven't had anyone that much like Black Adam and Apocalypse. So at least it's not a case of, we're having this again? Like with Lex vs. Doom, Batman vs. Iron Man, and Batgirl vs. Spider-Gwen. This is a case where these are pretty new, they're pretty unique, and hey, we're getting something different for this episode, besides the Shazam! From Marvel vs. Marvel. Captain Marvel vs. Shazam. So, I am excited, though, for a good bit. Mainly because of the DBX. By the way, I will have the track playing in the background. It was leaked, so if you don't want to hear it, go away. I don't even know if it spoils who would win. Anywho, yeah. I'm happy for those who won this matchup. I have some excitement, mainly thanks to the DBX being probably one of their best episodes. So, at least it can likely be good. Hopefully it'll be good. It has some potential going for it. Also, the track is good. Oh, excuse me. Oh, the track won't play. The track got taken down. So, whoops, no track. Anywho, I do have the... I'm not familiar with these characters. That's kind of like an ongoing thing for this season, I've noticed. I'm not familiar with these characters. But if you would give me a quick second for my phone to load, I could pull up the connections. I'm going to pause this real quickly. Okay, back. I got the connections. Those take a while to load, but they are both ancient terrors that rose from ancient Egypt, managing to survive the present day, where they'd eventually become among some of the most powerful foes to large and popular superhero teams, before eventually siding more with the side of good. Both are/were rulers of civilizations and are corrupted progenitors. I don't know. To modern day heroes, both are depicted as slaves in some versions of their backstories, who once express a genuine desire to use their abilities for good before their intervention by a villain led to their foes of evil. Both also draw power from godlike entities. Those are the connections I got from the Death Battle Wiki. So if those are wrong, then I blame the wiki. But it's a good matchup, connection-wise. And if the DBX has anything to show for it, then, hey, it's going to be a good episode. And real quickly, before I get into, like, my predictions for what the fight might be, I'm hoping they don't fill this with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson jokes. They already did say that in the Fireside Chat that the thumbnail would have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, so twice in one season we've gotten Dwayne. So, funnily enough, it's both episodes that involve Mythos in a way, because the Egyptian Mythos was part of Shazam for Black Adam. But also, they did say that they tried putting as much Black Adam clips from the movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in Adam's rundown. So what I'm hoping is that it's not going to be overfilled with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson jokes. Oh, excuse me. One or two at best. I really already wasn't a fan of how many Goku jokes they made in Wukong's rundown. Like, one could have been enough. But I think just one or two is fine. More than that, it will be a bit annoying. But, that's my worry. And for who I think wins, I'm just going to get into it now. Also, who I'm rooting. I'm rooting for Black Adam just because I'm more interested to learn about Black Adam, and Apocalypse looks fucking stupid with those big blue lips. I don't like it. I'm sorry, Black Adam fans. Not Black Adam, Apocalypse fans, but the design looks weird to me. And for who I'm betting on, I'm siding with Black Adam. From what I've seen, they both do scale to Herald stuff, but from what I've seen and heard from, Black Adam fights more high-tier DC Heralds than Apocalypse does, and has soloed entire groups of DC Heralds by himself, like Superman, Shazam, Wonder Woman, Flash, the top-tier ones. He's soloed by himself all at once, like in a whole group fight. Where Apocalypse doesn't really have much going to that level of power. And while looking on the Death Battle Wiki and also rewatching the DBX, Apocalypse does have some hacks going for him that I could see nab him a win, such as his energy absorption, be able to absorb Cyclops' energy beams. So that could arguably absorb Black Adam's lightning. And also his insane regeneration, be able to just fully regenerate himself as long as there's even just a tiny little bit of blood left of Apocalypse. He can fully regenerate himself. So those are the two things I could see going for Apocalypse. But I think with raw stats, Black Adam will take it. I don't know, I can see it going either way, but I'm rooting for Black Adam, and I'm also betting on Black Adam. That might change, but I'm still sticking on Black Adam's side. As for what I'm hoping to see in the animation, I'm hoping the fight maybe takes place in a in a pyramid. Pretty obvious. But maybe one of them is trying to take over the other's rule and kill them to conquer their throne, similar to Lex Luthor versus Doctor Doom. Like something similar to that, maybe. And the fight starts from there. In the fight, you could... I don't know. My knowledge on these two aren't that well known. But you could have Apocalypse, morph his body around, use things like his drill, his sword, his whatever. Just, fucking the two fighting. Maybe Shazam, fucking grabs Apocalypse, holds him up, and yells, Shazam! Lightning bolt, fucking pierces through the pyramid they're fighting in. And, tries to fucking electrocute Apocalypse, but Apocalypse absorbs it. And maybe it could also have, sometime in the fight, Black Adam, rips off Apocalypse's arms, but Apocalypse just kind of regenerates them. I need a drink. Oh, God. Gotta show that regeneration. Maybe sometime throughout, nearing the second act of the fight, you can have Apocalypse, start to grow big, grow in size, he busts through the pyramid and the fight starts taking place outside the desert. You can maybe have a little inside joke of maybe Kenshiro's little doom buggy or Joseph crying to reference Jotaro versus Kenshiro, since that fight takes place in the desert. Or you could have the dead squirrel there. Little reference to that episode. That could be cool. But you can have that fight kind of play out. And, well, bleh. I say things without thinking sometimes. But you can have Apocalypse, like, grow in size to bust out of the pyramid, and the fight starts going from there. You can reuse that pyramid idea in the DBX, where fucking Black Adam goes underneath, picks up a pyramid, and uses it as a drill. But Apocalypse, like, creates a drill out of his arm, and, like, the two, like, clash. They rip through each other, fucking Apocalypse arm, getting all shredded by the pyramid, but Apocalypse breaking apart the pyramid, turning into just dust. And the Black Adam kind of goes in for a brutal brawl or something. I don't know. These could be cool. Nearing the end of the fight, maybe Apocalypse calls on the power of strength, whichever one the power of strength is, to fucking go underneath, grab Apocalypse in his giant form, and just go straight up, constantly yelling Shazam, to maybe, like, burn through. Or maybe, like, this Apocalypse, like, Black Adam just keeps rising up until going straight down to smash Apocalypse to the ground. Maybe sometime in the pyramid. I remember this idea earlier that I liked. But you could have Apocalypse, like, try to use his mind control on Black Adam, but Black Adam breaks through it and does the thunderclap to like snap out of it, knock Black Apocalypse back. I don't know. That could be cool. But near the end of the fight, for if Black Adam wins, you could have him, like, just, like, fucking start ripping through Apocalypse until, like, he takes his head off, but then uses electricity to kill. What's the word? Like what lightsabers basically do, but instantly, like, fucking burn up the wound, so then there's no blood, making it so Apocalypse can't regenerate himself and is now dead. Or if Apocalypse wins, you can use, like, his morph ability, similar to the DBX, use the morph ability to trick a Black Adam into becoming his human self, getting shocked by his own lightning, and just start fucking ripping Black Adam apart until there's nothing left. Or have Apocalypse rip off Black Adam's legs and arms, leaving just a torso left. What the hell's going on? Okay, internet issue, whatever. No music for the rest of this, sorry. But you can have just Apocalypse just rip off Black Adam's arms, his legs, leaving just a man, a torso with a head, and he says, like, all you are is immortal or something, and just fucking rips his head off. Or just completely rips him in half. I don't know. They said the fight would be bloody, if I remember correctly, in the, I think it was the Fireside. Yeah, I believe the Fireside chat. Because they did talk about that episode a little bit. I'm like, stuff going on in it. Not a lot, but a little bit. So, hey, I don't know. Those are just general ideas with my little knowledge on these characters. I don't know. I know, like, they did have other matchups some people were requesting, like, I know Black Adam also had, like, Dr. Doom, but we just had Dr. Doom last season. I doubt they'll bring him back right away. And I don't know, find something different for Dr. Doom. I don't know, Gilgamesh. That's still a matchup, right? I don't hear anyone talk about no more, but and I don't know if Apocalypse had any other matchups. I don't really hear any talked about. But, yeah, I don't really have too much to say about this one compared to my other videos, because I'm not familiar with these characters. I just kind of did a quick read on the Death Battle Wiki and on what's the DBXs. Let's see what the hell they have. But I do hope this will be a good episode. And for next time, I'm either thinking it's going to be Trunks' episode, which will most likely be Silver vs. Trunks, or it might be one that we don't know about. While I would prefer it, I'm leaning more towards being Silver vs. Trunks. If it's one that we don't know about, Sans vs. Judge, that would be awesome. Or maybe it's our cartoon episode this season. I would love Showtime. Finn and Jake vs. Mordecai and Rigby. I would fucking love that. But, yeah, sorry this was late. I just couldn't really record with the current situation I was in because of house sitting. I was not here to do this, so I just got back today. But I do hope this episode will be good, and it does have a lot to live up with the DBX already being pretty great, and the track being good, at least in my opinion. And they did, hype it up a tad bit in the fireside chat. But, yeah, and anyways, I hope this episode will be good, and, hopefully next time will be a matchup I care about. I keep saying that, and I hope it happens. Anyways, peace.